going on, everybody? Christian here. You know what I noticed? I've been doing these videos like a couple times now. I don't know what it is, cause I don't know if you do it, but I'm doing it. I watched the video, right, and I started watching what I do on video, and I noticed I have a tendency. Now I know that my right eyebrow goes up a lot, anyways, but it seems like in a video, it's like the natural position of my face or something. I'm not trying to do it. It's a completely unconscious thing. I don't know if it's something I can fix. I don't know. Anyways, so I didn't even know what I wanted to talk about. No clue. I was like, I'm gonna make a video, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna make this video about. And because there's a lot of things I want to cover. And I'm still, COVID-19 is still down there somewhere. I want it to be like short and sweet. But it's not going to be that short because nothing I ever talk about is that short. But I remembered that when I made my last video, I touched on cancer, and I said I didn't have time to go down that road. So I was like, well, maybe on my third video, I should just go down that road, just travel down a little bit, just to give my perspective on cancer, a very generalized perspective on cancer. Excuse me. Like I said before, I'm not a doctor. Even though I'm a healthcare professional with 15 years experience, I'm not a doctor. So everything I say is not medical advice. It's just my opinion. And until I can't have my opinion, I'm going to have my opinion, okay? And remember, so everything I say is based on the fact that I try to gather all the information I can to try to understand everything I'm looking at, and then and then apply some deductive reasoning from there. So it's a fact, a researchable statistic, which I've said in the past doesn't necessarily make it a fact, but I digress. It's a researchable statistic that we are having increased cases of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer year over year. It's getting worse. And one thing that I researched that has also increased tremendously over the years is sugar consumption. And just out of curiosity, because I like to learn stuff, I started researching. I research a lot of stuff in general. So just from my education for becoming a respiratory therapist, we had to learn about the normal pH of the body. Normal pH of the body is 7.35 to 7.45 on the pH scale, which makes the human body slightly alkaline in nature. That's its homeostasis. That's its equilibrium. That's where the human body likes to live. That's where all the healthy human cells in the body want to be at, in that range somewhere. So if there's anything that happens that takes it out of that range, that's not good. It's going to fight to get back in that range. Bad things happen in the body when it's not at the right pH level. What happens when the pH level is wrong in your fish tank? The fish die, don't they? So pH is important. So we got that established. And then with the fact that sugar intake has increased dramatically and over the last few decades in America, and I am convinced that is a strong, very, very strong contributing factor to why we're seeing so many increased cases of cancer. But I don't doubt for a second that there are other contributing factors out there, but I know sugar's a big one. So, and the reason I say this is because I think it's important that when you can't grasp at every single variable that's causing something, you got to get the big fish. You got to try to grab the biggest thing that you can get your hands on, and tackle the big thing first. Fix what you can fix. The things that you can't control, the things that you can't identify, you're just going to have to roll with that, and then you deal with it as it comes. But the stuff that you can control it. At least that gives you a little bit better fighting chance. Put yourself in the best position possible is what I'm saying. So Sugar is everywhere, and it's in everything. And that's why I laugh when people believe that our healthcare and our government is so concerned about our safety and our health, but they let us ingest ourselves with all this sugar on a continuous basis, and they don't make any attempt to regulate it at all. Which I'm not even saying that they should. But then I laugh when they try to apply these regulatory measures on other stuff, like they care, but they won't do it with sugar. So like I said, all or nothing, right? Let us make our choices. That's all I'm saying, but that's a different argument. I'm gonna let that go. Sugar is in everything. Sugar is not good for you. Your body makes it. Your body has the capability to make whatever glucose it needs out of whatever you eat. The body has absolutely no need for you to put sugar into it. Hear me again. You can eat nothing but pure protein, and your body will find a way to convert that to the necessary glucose that it needs to power your cells in your body. You have no need to consume sugar. If you do it, it's just because you want to. It's not necessary. And whatever need that you think you have for it, or whatever lifestyle you think you have that requires you to have it, I promise you, through conditioning and time, your body would learn to acclimate itself to whatever it is that you're currently doing and find a way to meet those requirements with less sugar. So the reason I bring up sugar is because I think it's one of the biggest single factors that we could focus in on and try to mitigate in our diets. Because sugar causes inflammation. And we all know that overeating sugar over time can lead to obesity and diabetes. So if you're eating all the sugar, just think about this for a second. If you're eating sugar, drinking sugar all day, every day, everything in moderation, right? You don't think all that sugar consumption over time is going to have a compounding negative effect on your body? I mean, even smokers, most smokers, they could be inhaling that poison every day for decades and not see the true fruit of the labor until 50, 60, 70 years old. Just because you don't feel bad immediately doesn't mean nothing happens. Just because you don't feel the death immediately doesn't mean you're not dying a slow death. That's all I'm saying. And the reason I bring this up is because cancer consumes glucose 200 times faster than healthy cells in the body. Cancer cells love sugar. Glucose. I say sugar, glucose, more specifically. Cancer cells love glucose. It gobbles it up. So if you are constantly and consistently putting sugar in your body all the time, you're giving the cancer cells in your body the ammunition they need to thrive. So it's a double-edged sword. Not only do cancer cells love sugar or glucose, sugar in itself causes acidity within the body, which healthy cells don't want. Remember, I said that your healthy cells in your body love to be a little bit on the alkaline side of the fence. Cancer cells love being in an acidic environment. So when you cause acidity inside your body, you're creating an environment that is beneficial for the cancer cells and not beneficial for your healthy cells. So you're putting yourself at a disadvantage when you do that. Again, it's just keeping it super simple. So it's really easy to understand. And then, God forbid, you end up with diabetes, because when you end up with diabetes, you have to manage it. Now, diabetes, if you've eaten yourself into diabetes, I'll tell you right now, you can get yourself out of diabetes. It's inconvenient and it sucks. But that's the bed you made, right? So you have to lay in it. And if you truly want to get out of diabetes, you can reverse that without, you can get yourself off of insulin dependency. You can reverse that 100%. Just throwing that out there. But either way, again, that's a different conversation. When you end up with diabetes, insulin dependent diabetes, then it goes without saying that most of the patients, at least in my experience, they don't manage it very well. So they come in and get tested, their glucose levels are always high because they're not taking their insulin like they're supposed to. And so when you got all of that sugar, glucose floating around all in your body, causing all that inflammation, causing all that acidity, cancer cells love that. That's where they want to be. You created a petri dish that's beneficial for cancer cells and not in a bad environment for all the healthy cells in your body. Let's not even talk about smoking. From just, not even the chemicals, not even the carcinogens that are in cigarettes. I'm not even going to talk about that. That's a different topic. And again, our government caring about your health. But I'm talking about the process of, when you smoke and you're inhaling carbon monoxide, and your hemoglobin in your body has a 30 times stronger affinity to, grab onto a carbon monoxide molecule before it holds on to an oxygen molecule. So if you're a consistent casual smoker and you smoke every day, then over time, again, here we go, over time, I'm not going to sit here and condone smoking, but like I said, anything in moderation, right? Just as long as you don't go crazy with it, your body can kind of recover from most stuff. But what I'm saying, like, for your regular smoker, multiple times a day, every single day, you're consistently introducing that carbon monoxide inside the body, and your hemoglobin is consistently grabbing that carbon monoxide molecule and rejecting and just, brushing off that oxygen molecule. Over time, that's going to have a compounding effect. That brings me to my next point. Your healthy cells in your body like oxygen. They need oxygen. That's how they stay alive. Cancer cells don't need oxygen like that. Now, I won't say that they're not oxygen dependent at all. I'm not going to say they don't need any oxygen. They got different mechanisms of action and pathways that they use to do what they do. But long story short, your healthy cells need oxygen a whole hell of a lot more than cancer cells do. So there you go. So imagine if you are a diabetic, a poorly managed diabetic with high glucose levels in the blood, and you're a smoker, and you've been smoking, and you got an SpO2 or oxygen saturation level that sits around 92 or 93. By normal standards, 98 and above. Some say 97 and above, but I think you should be seeing 98 and above. But let's just say that, right? But now you're down, your normal range is 92 and 93, which means that your body is in an acidic environment with low oxygen, which is completely 100% beneficial for cancer cells and a detriment to your healthy cells. You're like, it's almost like you're writing your own ticket for cancer at that point. Because you have to remember, we all have cancer cells, right? And if you didn't know, now you do know. All of us produce cancer cells. It's our body's immune system responsibility for, pinpointing, locating, mitigating, and destroying those cancer cells. That's why it's also important, like I said before, keep that immune system up. Keep yourself healthy. So, and the reason I'm making, these videos early is because I think it can help people. Because a lot of people, I think a lot of people are led to believe that their fate is their fate, and then whatever happened to them was going to happen regardless. And I know in my first video I said whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but I don't mean it like that. there are certain actions you can take in your life to try to you know try to make try to carve your own destiny, try to carve your own path, control your outcome a little bit, especially when it comes to your health. So sugar consumption, not doing anything that interferes with the oxygenation of your body, and stress. So when I say stress in regards to keeping your immune system healthy. So positive stress, like go exercise, get that cardio up, that strengthens your immune system. So there are a lot of things that we could do for ourselves to keep ourselves from ending up with cancer. And that's even if even if you're somebody who's genetically predisposed for something, that's not a death sentence. That's just an increased likelihood. And I tell people all the time, don't let a doctor tell you that something's going to happen to you. Doctors are wrong all the time. There's a reason why medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in America, behind cancer and heart disease. It's because doctors are not right all the time. So don't let somebody tell you what's going to happen to you. If you take that on as that's your fate, screw that. You take control of your health. You got to be proactive, and it's very important to be proactive about how you live your life. You don't want to get yourself to the point where you're begging some doctor to find some way to save you, because there are people out there who are going to end up there no matter what they do. And I feel sorry for those people. I feel bad for them. That's unfortunate. But if you didn't have to walk down that path of that person, because I guarantee you those people who are that unfortunate, they would trade positions with you any day of the week to have the opportunity to be able to do things the right way and come out with a more fortunate outcome. Because there are people out there that do everything the way they're supposed to do it, and they still end up jacked up. And then there are people out there who do everything the wrong way, and they end up just fine. Now, like I said, that kind of goes to, there are people on both sides of the spectrums. You got the people who do everything right in life and just they'll end up screwed. And then you got people who do things wrong with their entire lives and make it all the way to dying of old age. And you're like, what the hell? It doesn't matter what I do. What's going to happen is going to happen, just like you said in your first video. Could be. But how would you want to die? How would you want to end your life? Would you want to end your life or end up in a position of regret knowing that you could have done things better for yourself? Or if you end up somewhere, would you at least like to have the peace of mind that, hey, at least I did what I could? I tried. All I'm saying is that nothing in our life is a guarantee, but the least we can do is try to put ourselves in the best footing possible for success. That's it. Stress, keep your sugar under control. Don't do anything that's going to interfere with the oxygenation of your blood or in the healthy cells in your body. And you can dramatically reduce the potential of you getting cancer in general. Sugar's a huge one for me. I've said it before, and I don't want to sound too extreme when I say it, but to me, sugar is poison. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good poison because we like it, right? It's in our candy, it's in our ice cream and stuff like that, but it's poison. Just like anything else, you could take too much Tylenol, kill yourself. You could drink too much water, kill yourself. Too much of anything is bad. Think about that. Too much of anything is bad. And we consume sugar like it's safe, and it's not. Sugar is not safe. It's enjoyable. And the reason a lot of people have a hard time getting away from sugar is because sugar causes the same dopamine release in the brain that some very strong illicit drugs do. But it's legal, and it's in everything. At every single turn, you have to make a conscious effort to mitigate it. Conscious effort. It's hard. And then they'll be like, whoa, Christian, you know, those diet drinks that you drink, those things are known to cause cancer too. I'm like, possibly, maybe. I'm not denying that. You know, that whole aspartame argument, you know, that causes cancer. That's possible. But I also know that that research is founded on one study where the lab rats in that study were given 10 times their body weight in aspartame for 3 weeks. I don't think I'm consuming it at that rate. And it's based on one study, so I'll take my chances. I know what sugar will do. I'm gambling on a maybe versus an absolute. I know what sugar does to the body. I can speculate what aspartame is doing. So, but either way, I don't even want to go down that road. But yeah, stay safe. If there's anything you get from this video, I could talk about cancer for a long time. I could talk about what I think somebody might be able to do to try to reverse their cancer before they start pumping their body full of chemotherapy and radiation treatment. But I think I'll leave that for another video. And hopefully I won't even make that comment. But anyways, if it happens, it happens. And if it happens, you'll see it. But sugar, keep it low. That's not good for you. Anything and everything in moderation. All right, stay safe out there.